All right. Hey, guys, we're live tonight. Hey, this is Terry with NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast. How you guys doing today? Man, I am still getting over that 4-hour drive we took up to West Texas for the West Texas Paracon in Bellinger, Texas. If you guys ain't never been to Bellinger at Texas, a very interesting town. And if you guys ain't never been to the Old Park Hotel yet, a great place to investigate. I suggest you guys to get up there and check that place out. Tonight we are in. Let me see if I can get this name. Checotah, Oklahoma. Man, with After Walker Paranormal. Hey man, how you guys doing today? What's going on? How you?
We doing great, man. Doing real good. Been busy.
Oh shit. Are you guys able to see the comments?
I'm not seeing any, no.
All right. Well, things get kind of weird, kind of quick. So I'm gonna pop this up right quick. And I really don't want you guys to get freaked out or anything.
Oh,
but
here we go. I can see him.
Are you guys able to see? She saw an orb right behind you guys.
It doesn't surprise me.
Probably not. Not surprise, yeah.
Wow. Things are getting weird already, man.
Hey, the last podcast we were on, we had stuff falling behind us back here. So,
wow.
Damn. But
hey, man, you know what? With an opening like that, it's gonna be an interesting podcast. So, hey guys, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to a quick break, minute break, and I'm gonna come right back, and we're gonna dive right into After Walker Paranormal and see what see what you guys are all about. So, away we go.
Was kind of like,
well, hit the button.
Excuse me.
I can't help that. I don't have a beard to halfway cover my face.
That's a lot of beard.
It is a lot of beard. Yes. But you braided.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably listening.
All right, guys, welcome back to the show. Gary with NSPS TV Paranormal. Man, tonight we are not in the Lion's Den. I wish I was, because I would feel more comfortable there. But hey, I took a quick trip up to Oklahoma and talked with a team called After Walker Paranormal. Hey guys, what's going on?
Not much, man. We're just we're getting over a con ourselves, so to speak. What was it? April? It was last weekend? Last weekend, yeah. We were at Steampunk Stampede down in McAlester, Oklahoma.
Oh, wow. Cool. Hey, well, guys, tonight you guys know how I am. All you guys are viewing, hey, man, tonight we are streaming live on StreamYard on 8 different platforms, 2 from international, the UK and Japan. And we also streaming on Kick, Rumble, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and you know what else? My favorite Facebook is my own personal Facebook channel. So, hey, all you guys out there, welcome to the show. You know what I'm saying? But with enough said, we got that past us. Hey, Man, tell me what's going on up there in Oklahoma. Is there any creepy stuff going on? Is it worth me taking a road trip, man? Tell me, talk to me.
Depends on where you want to go. I mean, look, we have we'll just start with the cemetery. We have a research site, Checotah Indian Territory Cemetery. It closed in 1912. And we can go out there on any given night and have any kind of activity. From last time we were out there, we had REM pod going off just right behind us. Luckily, the camera caught it. There's shadows in the trees that just move back and forth. There's also, we are on Indian territory. We are in Indian territory here. So, there's also rumors and theories of skinwalkers and all kinds of creepy stuff. So, I mean, it depends on where you want to go, man. We can take you to some pretty good places.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, you know what? Let's jump right into this, man, because I'm a little curious about After Walker Paranormal. The first question of the day is, why did you guys pick After Walker Paranormal?
Okay. We have ties to the Norse through genetics, and we were just kind of trying to figure out a name, and we came across a creature called a drog. And whenever you translate it loosely, very loosely, but it translates to After Walker. So it kind of piqued us, and we loved it, and we rolled with it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But hey, man, let me ask you guys a serious question. What do you guys think about the state as, I don't mean your state, the state of paranormal, investigators, our society? How do you think that is going right now as a whole?
Well, I've had some years of experience in all of this, and I know that there's been over the past handful of years, there's a lot of drama in the paranormal communities. And a lot of people have thrown out the key phrase paranormal unity and all of that, and that's wonderful. But I look at it like this: none of us are experts. This is a fringe science, and we all just need to understand that is the truth. It's science, but it is a fringe science, and none of us are experts. None of us are professionals. Even people who get paid to be on television, the only reason why they're even considered professionals because they're getting paid. But that doesn't mean they know any more than any of us. Well, you know what I mean? I feel like that, at least for myself and our team, we're going to do what we're going to do regardless of what anybody likes to want to think or say or whatever. I don't care. If people want to, team up with us, we're all about it. Because we should be helping each other. We should be a community. And, there has, I'm sure you're well aware, there's been a lot of drama in the paranormal community over the past handful of years.
Oh yeah.
And it's sad, because we should all be helping to further this science into more mainstream.
Yes, you're totally right. It's. I was just at a Paracon last week, and I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about the West Texas Paracon. It's only second year of its existence, but they attract a lot of mainstream media, Hollywood individuals. I met Chad from Fast and the Furious. He's a big history. He loved paranormal. And I met a couple of people that was on flicks, and it was just a lot of people there, But once the people start coming out and you start having these, events where people come out and talk to you, and what's so weird about it, they actually give you, they actually want the audience to respond to the questions. So I'm one of those guys that likes to ask questions because I'm curious to know on what other people think. So I like, hey, I'm gonna go up here and talk to these guys and see. I mean, I was in the front, maybe 30 people, and I asked them, and the first question I ask is, why are paranormal investigators are so afraid of change? Why do paranormal investigators like to stay in the box? As paranormal investigators, we should always think outside the box.
Yeah, exactly.
But the thing is, guys, could nobody answer that question for me? Everybody looked around. It's like they were looking for somebody to answer that particular question. So
I mean, as a society, we don't like change.
Right.
I mean, and when you have been doing something and you think you know it front to back, and somebody else comes along with an idea, and then instead of thinking like, hey, that's a good idea, try it out and see if it works, it's like, no, it'll never work. I've been doing this for 20 years.
Yeah.
That's the mentality of a lot of people.
Yeah, that's true. Saw the orb again.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch it, but I'm not seeing it. Do you guys collect any haunted dolls, or do you guys collect haunted dolls or anything like that?
Well, let me tell you, there is at least one spirit that I know that lives in this house. We call her Lady.
Okay.
She was actually the, I guess you could say, mascot of an older group that I had. But also, a couple of years ago, I did a home investigation in Henrietta, Oklahoma, and I brought with me, let's just say the 18-year-old girl who lived in the house had the Church of Satan banner hanging above her bed and a Church of Satan Bible that the parents wanted us to get rid of. So the theory is that house was a rental home for over 20 years. Think about all the energy coming in and out of there, all the rental families, some good energy, some bad energy, just a lot of energy flowing in and out of there. I really do think that it kind of created a train station effect, so to speak, for energies, for spiritual energies. However, I also believe that there were resident spirits that lived in that house and they weren't happy about the satanic banner and the Bible. I have those. I still have them today. I took them out. Those are some artifacts that I have kept.
Interesting.
I don't have them hung up, but I have them.
Right. Yeah, you guys able to see that comment there?
Yeah.
Dude, what do you guys think about all these? You got people coming in that are seeing things. I mean, dude, my head would be turning left and right.
I'm like, I'm looking now.
Uh-oh. Now,
Irene said that he's a spirit magnet. Are you talking about me? Because, I mean, maybe, but I don't know if I like that. I mean, actually, no. As a paranormal investigator, I would love to be a spirit magnet. Lord knows my name for being a chick magnet.
Oh. I guess she answered.
Well, that's why they argue with you at our place all the
time. Well, I guess you are, bro, because she said yes on that one.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you know that beforehand?
Well, I mean, I am a bit of an empath. I don't know if, look, I've had, the reason why I do what I do anyway is because I've had experiences my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I do what I do. And starting from when I was young, real young, I'll be 50 this year. So it's, it's been my whole life. I can probably tell you 30 stories. We can spend the whole time on this podcast talking about the stuff I've experienced. So I wouldn't doubt it.
Okay, cool. I mean, some people will take that and like you and say, hey, yeah. But other people would say, nah, man, I don't want that juju. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I would like to think that as a paranormal investigator, or anybody being a paranormal investigator, you want to be some kind of a spiritual magnet. Otherwise, you're going to be,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
boring sitting around waiting.
yeah, you got a point there. I mean, I think everybody at some point, I think everybody is. I could be wrong, I could be right, but guys, I mean, I'm curious to know a little bit about, your team. Is it just 3 of you guys, or is it, or is there more?
Well, it's pretty much just us three. My daughter is involved, but she's about to go off to college. As a matter of fact, if you go on our YouTube channel and watch any of our shows, we have new shows every Friday night. So go check us out on YouTube. After Walker Paranormal, please subscribe. But you'll see my daughter in some of the videos. But I mean, we're three are the main group. Yeah.
Okay. Guys, we get a lot of criticism for what we do. A lot of people really don't like us. A lot of people don't. I mean, I think I had an egg thrown on me on my van when I was driving down the street one day. How does your community feel about you guys?
I mean,
different.
Yeah, I mean, I know people who are just fascinated.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to talk about it, and when I get a chance, I do. And 9 times out of 10, I get pretty good responses.
Yeah. I think a lot of that comes from the fact that this is such a Native American heavy area.
A lot of beliefs.
There's a lot of beliefs here.
All right. So what does the Native Americans think about what you guys do? Have you came and talked to them? And
well, that War Cry podcast that we were on a month ago, that was a Native American podcast, the War Cry podcast. Check him out. He's awesome. Okay. But yeah, he's a Native American podcast, and we talked a lot. We actually talked. I mean, he brought us on. Yeah, we did 2 hours with him. Yeah, but he does a lot of cryptid stuff like skinwalkers and monkey people and stuff like that. But he wanted to bring on, an actual paranormal team. So he brought us on, and we talked a little bit about a lot.
A little bit about a lot.
A little bit about a lot. Yeah.
Well, hey guys, if you guys want to break down on what you guys would do on an investigation day, who does what, who does who, and all that stuff, fill us in.
Well, why don't you talk a little bit about what we did at Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame?
It was about a month ago, wasn't it? About a month ago, we went to the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame, and the building there was actually a shipping depot for the trains, and it was built in 1903, just a few years after that part of Muskogee, Oklahoma, just burned. They had a massive fire there, so we went in there. They have turned that into a Hall of Fame for Oklahoma musicians. There's pictures everywhere. There's some memorabilia. There's a whole room set up that's full of memorabilia. And then the larger part of it is a kind of like a concert hall that they have shows every Friday night. And then there's also a radio station that runs out of there. We got to talking to the guys there, and found out that the guy that runs the radio station sees shadows run back and forth down the hall while he's running the radio early in the morning. They heard footsteps from the second story, which nobody can get up there anymore because they had to remove the stairs for safety. But whenever we got in there, we had all kinds of claps and bangs and all kinds of stuff that were happening around us, and it was kind of a wild night.
Okay, man.
But as far
No,
as far as how we run things, Daniel's our historian, pretty much. April's our spiritual sensitive, and I guess if you were to label me, I'd be, I guess, lead investigator. Just put together a game plan. We're a team, no matter what. And nobody's taking control of anything.
Right.
But we like to go into a place and we do a typical baseline investigation, find out where the EMF spots are, what the electrical currents are in the building, temperatures, and look for any hot spots of any bouncing around, because then you know what you can debunk. And then, typically after that, a lot of what we like to do is what I just call waiting, listening, sitting. That's what a lot of people, don't get me wrong, man, I love the paranormal TV shows. And I do. I mean, some are better than others, but I do like watching them. But a lot of people don't see the real investigation, and we try to show that, because any investigator out there knows that you're going to be sitting, watching, listening, being quiet. I mean, there's a lot of that happens.
Right.
That's
a lot
right.
of quietness.
Yeah.
Young lady, you look bored, so I'm going to pick on you.
No, I'm just sitting here.
What is your typical day before an investigation? Now, since you're the one with the twinkle twitch, how do you get your start of the day, and what do you do, to prepare yourself for, the upcoming night, adventure?
Well, I don't know. It's just something that comes naturally to me. So it's not like a lot, I have to prep to do anything for it. These guys have a hard time because I just tend to walk off.
Just goes. Oh, yeah. You're just like, okay, follow.
Because I'll feel something or hear something. So it's off in that direction I go. And they're the ones doing the cleanup of trying to capture stuff on film.
And pick up our equipment.
Yeah.
Okay, now, if you had a choice besides, your skill set, what would be your favorite equipment in the arsenal that you guys have?
Oh, I like the pet balls.
Yeah.
Just, because it's kind of like two-way communication, them asking or you asking them, to be able to turn it on, turn it off, and they do it.
It's easy for them.
Yeah.
It's those cat balls, man. I lose them. I can't. I can't seem to keep up with them, because the thing is, guys, when you're in a location and when you get ready to leave, you always want to think about the most expensive stuff to pack up. You don't never think about that damn cat ball, do you?
No. Hey, we do, because we use the heck out of them. I know they can be somewhat controversial, although what piece of equipment isn't, but I love the pet ball too. Now, I will say that I do agree that the best piece of evidence is EVP. I will always stand by that. EVP is one of the best pieces of evidence in my mind. But when you're sitting there and you are communicating with those pet balls on command, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. And so I'm finding pet balls, because they used to be cheap. They ain't cheap. They ain't cheap no more.
Yeah, they're not. And it would be cool if they make a cat ball, which I found some actually, where you could just change the batteries out and you just keep going.
Yeah.
These little bitty cat balls today, once they're done, they're done. You got to put them in the cat ball bin. You know,
That's
hell,
funny.
you can.
I've had these pet balls for like 4 years, still running.
Oh wow, you got a super cat ball.
Lucky. Yeah, I got lucky.
Speaking of Hollywood, man, and like you say you watch them,
Sure.
but do you think that the way that they run things, do you think that it's actually something positive that they're actually putting out there? I mean, because if you look at it, some of the kids today that want to be paranormal investigators, they go look at the TV shows. They don't come ask us. They look at the TV shows and say, hey, if this is the way it's done, then this is the way I'm going to do it. And to me, I don't think that's right. What do you think?
I think that you're going to find influences from where you're going to find influences from. I think the part that I have a hard time with the projection that these shows are putting out is that everything is scary and everything is dangerous and everything is out there wanting to hurt you. And that's just that 1% of 1% of spirits that you're going to deal with that are that angry, that pent up, that dark or dangerous
or demonic
that are going to try to hurt you. Most of the spirits that we've had contact with are they're just people, really.
But on the flip side of that, then you have other shows, and I'm not going to name any names of shows, but you have other shows that everything's just all hunky-dory and perfect and happy, and they just want to communicate. And yeah, 99% of the time that's the truth. But there are dark energies out there, and I think that both sides have to be portrayed as they truly are. And I think that's where we get lost in translation with the paranormal TV shows. Is you have Ghost Adventures, who everything is scary, and then you have other shows that like Ghost Hunters, for example, the original Ghost Hunters. Nothing was ever dangerous. It was always and that's not true either.
Okay. What would be your best advice to tell somebody who wants to, eventually take your place, and becoming a paranormal investigator? And what's the best advice that you would have somebody between the ages of 17 and 20 years old?
Well, it's funny. Yeah, find a good
Yeah.
group who knows what they're doing. And my daughter's 18 and she's been investigating with me since she was 16. But I've brought her up in it, for the most part. And I tell her, even watching the shows, what's fake and what's real. I'm sorry, but I have my opinions on that. I won't go too much further into that. But even watching the shows, I tell her, that's got to be fake. But I would also tell a young person that wants to get into this to learn how to spiritually protect themselves.
Oh yeah.
Okay. The one thing, because I've had some people tell me is, I've had people ask me, and the first thing I tell, and I can tell a lot about a person when I speak to them because the way they speak to me.
True.
And if they speak with me with that respectful tone, then I can say, hey, there's very little that you can do, but the respect thing goes such a long way.
It does.
And so if you don't respect your parents or somebody of an elder, how are you going to respect somebody that's 200 300 years older than you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get you.
And I just don't understand it because, these kids today aren't being taught respect. They say what they want, they do what they want, however they want to do it. And, and that what pisses me, trust me, it pisses me the hell off. You know what I'm saying? Because these are our future paranormal investigators. Okay, for an example is, if one of these kids, if I just happen to pass away in the year 2100, and these same paranormal investigators, come and try to speak to me, I'm not going to want to speak to you because your tone, your attitude, everything that you have is just totally wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it has to start now in order for our successors to be able to communicate with us after we're long gone.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
No, no, I get you. I do. I think respect goes a long way. When we're on investigations, we do try to be respectful towards spirit. Even saying if we have a pet ball go off, whether it's paranormal or not, I'm saying thank you. Thank you for that. Now, with that being said, I have been known to provoke when it's time to provoke. I don't shy away from that if it's, for instance, so I can give an example. I had at that same house with the satanic banner, there was obviously dark energy in that house. And I was trying to get it to show itself. And I did provoke to get it to show itself. And as a matter of fact, you can see one of those videos on our YouTube channel. and it was basically me doing a solo in a room with a laser light grid and doing EVP, and I had a pet ball and a REM pod on the bed. I never could get the REM pod to go off, but I did get the pet ball to go off after provoking. I don't do that very often. I don't recommend it. But sometimes I do feel like in order to get a darker energy to respond, sometimes you have to resort to that. And I know there's people who might disagree with me, but that's okay. We all have our ways of doing things. And if it means protecting the people in that house, because then if I can try and figure out what kind of dark energy it is, we can then go from there and try to figure out how to cleanse.
Okay. One thing I notice is I podcast all across the country and all across the world. And I've always seemed to ask, every paranormal team, what kind of paranormal team are you guys? Some of them give me, there's so many different types of answers out there that, they give me. So I'm going to ask you guys the same thing. What kind of paranormal team is at the Walker Paranormal?
Real. Here's why I say that. Because if you watch our videos, we're not going to fluff nothing. Mm-hmm. You're going to see exactly what we're doing, the responses that we get. It's not all excitement. It's not all glory. It's a lot of, like I said, sitting, waiting. Now, we don't show every single minute of that.
That would be
right.
That would be boring, and I get that. But I just, what we get, the responses that we get, it's really what we get. I mean, we don't try to force anything. We don't embellish. We don't, and I'm not saying that people do, but as well as I do, there are people that do that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Period. People that do that. But I want to show people what it's really like, because you got YouTubers out there that have millions of followers, and you watch their videos, and you're like, come on, really? It's not like that. It can be to some extent. It can be just all balls to the wall, crazy excitement. I mean, there's no doubt that it can be, but that's in my opinion, it's somewhat of a rarity. I mean, it truly is. I've been in situations before where I was getting responses on a spirit box that I didn't even hear until, replay. For instance, we're at a cemetery in Warner, Oklahoma, and we were doing a spirit box session and did not realize it at the time. But one of the responses we got was, I recognize the both of you. And, yeah. And I only realized that in, going back and review. And again, you see that on our YouTube channel. If you know in demon lore, you meet one, they all know you. It's a network.
Oh yeah.
So, because I mean, here we are at a cemetery that I've never been to before. There's no human spirit in that cemetery that I've ever met in real life, and yet I have something saying, I recognize the both of you.
Wow.
I mean, if I would have heard that response right then and there, that would have been like, whoa, what's going? That would have been that would have been kind of crazy. It wasn't until after the fact though, so I didn't react to it. You know what I mean?
The first thing I would have said, do you recognize this back end of me running out of that? Yeah, man, that is crazy. Hey guys, question. You guys aren't near the Bible Belt. The Bible Belt runs deep into Texas and through Louisiana and all that stuff. Is the Bible Belt up there too?
We're the buckle of the Bible Belt.
Oh wow.
We're the buckle of the Bible Belt.
Really?
Yeah.
I always thought it dipped down. I mean, I didn't think it flowed through Oklahoma and Arkansas. That's kind of.
There's probably 20 churches in Checotah, Oklahoma,
with a population of 3,300.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I think the last I checked, there were 26 different churches.
Wow, that's a lot of churches. Hold on.
Hey, there's Tom from Choctaw. What's up, man?
Hey, Tom.
Hey, man, you guys. He said he's from there. Tom.
Choctaw.
He's a little north of us.
Choctaw. It's weird how these all these Native American names that are in Oklahoma. Man, can you give me a list of how many Indian tribes are around? Around Oklahoma and so on and so on?
Several, but there are 5 major ones: Creek, Cherokee, Choctaw, Seminole, and I can never remember the 5th one. And I apologize if you're part of that tribe.
Oh, you're good. You're good, man. Because,
but there's definitely more. Yeah.
With all the Native Americans that are there, dude, there's got to be land that are cursed, shouldn't be on. Yeah. I mean, man, it's got to be crazy up there.
Well, that's what I said earlier. Depends on where you go. Because not only that, we also living where we live. We live on the outskirts by a Civil War battlefield as well. So you're talking Indian territory plus Civil War battlefield, where African Americans and Indians fought, or Native Americans, we'll say, there's a confluence of energies in this area. Not only that, we're on a crossroads as well. Mm-hmm.
and a ley line.
A ley line.
And then there's a river that goes under town.
All right. Now, what are you feeling that when you get close to these ley lines, young lady? Do you feel some type of way, or that doesn't bother you?
It doesn't really bother me, but I can go to places and tell you how the energy feels, and if there's a lot of activity coming through, stuff like that.
Oh wow, dude! Hey, if you ever want to move to Texas, man, hey, we can definitely use you.
We lived in Texas. We lived in Texas for a while.
No, not the good Texas. We lived in the Panhandle, and
Oh hell no! I mean, the only reason why you come to Texas is to get rid of the cold. Hell, the Panhandle is still cold.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to come a little bit farther south. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let me ask you guys a question. Another question. Why does Oklahoma? Not why. Do you think Oklahoma stands out among paranormal, better than the other states that surround you guys? If so, why do you think that is? Or why do you think that is?
I don't know if I can answer yes to that. What do you think?
I kind of think we're a sleeper state.
Yeah.
I mean, we're a flyover state anyways, so.
A lot of it, I shared geographical location, like with Arkansas, eastern Oklahoma and western Arkansas, your northeast Texas right there, Louisiana. We all kind of share, a mountain range and a lot of similar history with, people migrating, from the north to get land. So, okay.
Sorry. We've got a personal thing. We had lost our dogs a couple of days ago, and somebody has found them. So she's going to take off and take care of that.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Hey, that's good news.
Oh, I'm so dadgum happy.
And you saw it here first, folks.
Well, yeah, you did. The return of the dog. What's the dog's name?
Puddin'.
She's awesome.
Did you say Puddin'?
Puddin'. She's a 90-pound pit bull.
Oh wow! Hey, there's no way you can miss that dog.
Oh, she's a sweetheart too. I love
hey, you lucky because if you had a cat, you probably wouldn't get that cat back.
Probably not.
Probably not.
As the war. Oh yeah. All right, Tom. I see you. You know what? As paranormal investigators and the way that they change, paranormals evolve. A lot of people are bringing a lot of things to the table because a lot of people, like I was telling you guys earlier, people are starting to think outside the box. Now,
okay,
are you guys would ever take Puddin' on an investigation?
Could you repeat that question again? I'm sorry.
Would you guys ever take Puddin' on an investigation?
We've actually had Puddin' out on an investigation.
We actually had Puddin' out with us at the Checotah Indian Territory Cemetery with us one night. Actually have that on video as well. You can see that too on our YouTube channel. We call her the ghost hunting dog.
Wow. Hey, and I always tell people, man, if you got a puppy or a dog that's, well trained and, comes back at your command, I don't see why he shouldn't go out. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I agree. Sorry about the activity. Them finding their dog. She's been gone for a little while. So this is kind of.
Oh, that's fine, dude. That is fine at all. Yeah. So, because one thing that I do know about Texas is,
I like it.
There's a lot of things that are, haunted locations that are being shut down. I know we're going up to Fort Walters, and I'm thinking we're going to be the last team to ever investigate that location.
Oh, wow.
Now, you guys had a location that shut down. I think it's a penitentiary that shut down. Am I right up there?
Oh, it was the insane asylum.
St. Vincent's.
St. Vincent's.
St. Vincent's Insane Asylum. Yeah, the owner shut it down. He won't let anybody investigate it anymore.
Now, was he just tired of it, or he was just tired of making money?
Tired of people breaking in to do investigating. Yeah, that's pretty much. He just got tired of dealing with us, snarky investigators coming in, and I mean, I've never investigated anything illegally.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't even try, especially a place like that, but he got tired of it. I would imagine if a big production with a lot of money, like Ghost Adventures or someone like that, were to come, because they've been there once, as far as I know anyway. If they were to come back and throw a lot of money at him, he'd probably let them do that. But to like someone like Hinsdale House, who keeps it cheap for paranormal investigators, he's not going to do that. He's going to turn, people like us away every time. He just doesn't want us out there.
And then like Camp Gruber burned. And there was 110 buildings on there, and it's reported that more than half of them had some sort of activity in them.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
Now, the whole thing burned in a night.
What? Wow, that's crazy. Wow. Hey, how do you, because you mentioned your town, your population of your town is what, 3,500 maybe?
Relatively, yeah.
Right there, yeah.
Are you guys the only team in that town, or are there others?
As far as I know, we're the only one. I have known some people in the past who wanted to do things, but as far as I know, we're the only. I hate to use the term real, but that's what I used earlier. So the only real team, in this general region. I know there's a team to the south of us, a little south of Eufaula, trying to get their feet back up under them after their director passed away. And if there are other teams in our area, I don't really know about them. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that means your phone don't ring as often as you like for private investigation at residence. Right?
Not as often as I'd like, because I actually love doing residential investigating. But that doesn't mean we're not, busy.
Yeah.
Right. Now, your town, is it historical?
You could say that.
Very early 1900s. Got a large history around the railroad. Got a lot of rodeo history. We've got a few NFR, IFR rodeo.
Well, and Checotah is also known to be the birthplace of steer wrestling.
Yeah, steer wrestling.
Shout out to the brothers.
Yeah. And also, Carrie Underwood is from Checotah, Oklahoma.
Carrie Underwood?
Yeah.
I went to high school with her.
Oh, darn. Oh, darn. It's a historical town. Do you guys have a historical society there?
Do.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
How do they feel about you guys?
We've not really
haven't really dealt with them much, just to be honest with you.
Wow.
The only thing that I've investigated Price Hall, which is now shut down. It's something else now. But I investigated Price Hall in Checotah a couple of years ago. And it used to be a stagecoach manufacturer back in the early days. And it was before that, it was a morgue. and it still had the body fluid drainage pipe. But other than that, the only place that we've actually investigated here in Checotah is the Checotah Indian Territory Cemetery.
Now, do you guys like cemeteries? There's a lot of teams that don't. But I'll take it back. There is a lot of, speculations. Well, cemeteries aren't really that creepy. Cemeteries, are there for a lot of people don't go back and visit their bodies. What do you guys think about cemeteries?
We've had some good activity in cemeteries.
Cemeteries are crazy.
We were at one last Saturday, and we had proximity alerts going off consistently,
non-stop.
It was pretty great.
And that was at Oak Hill Cemetery in McAllister. We had I guess you can call a public ghost hunt after Steampunk Stampede. It was a paid event. And a lot of Confederate burials there, a lot of Confederate graves. People that were from that area came back, and was buried there. Big cemetery. I think it was over 3,000 grave sites.
Yeah. And it's still active.
It's still very active. Yeah. They still use it today. So it's, but a lot of activity. Look, hey, here's what I can say about cemeteries. I like doing cemeteries because I can tell you one is called Bennett Cemetery, and the theory is, or the not theory, that's not the right word I'm looking for. But anyway, the thought was that there used to be an orphanage on the grounds or front of the cemetery, and there is literally a whole area where they could have had a huge building for an orphanage, so that the land is there. But here's the thing: the very back of the cemetery is an entire row of gravestones with no names and lambs on top. So what does that tell you? Lambs. Those are baby graves.
Yeah.
Children. And no names, though, unnamed. They're marked.
Does it have a number?
Nothing. Just lambs on top of each grave.
Wow.
We investigated that, and I'm telling you, about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, we were in the very back doing those baby graves, those children's graves, and we were getting responses left and right. Look, I'll agree that not every grave site has a spirit connected to it. But I tell you what, man, spirits roam the graveyard. And this man right here could tell you, because he literally lives right next door to Checotah Indian Territory Cemetery. And that's one of the main reasons why we use that as our research site, because we can go out there anytime we want to and do research and perfect our craft and try to, get answers to some of these, because a lot of the headstones have been removed out of that cemetery.
Oh, yeah.
Totally disrespectful.
Well, that cemetery over the last 100 years has been robbed so many times. Even
as early as back in the early 90s.
The 90s was the last time that I personally remember it happening.
Grave robbing.
That's crazy. Hey guys, whose number is 0189?
That's mine.
Okay, sir. I am gonna send you a picture. And
Okay.
I want you to tell me what you honestly think about this picture. And I want you to tell me what you see. I want you to blow it up, turn it sideways, flip it up and down, rub it down, whatever you want to do to it. Okay?
Go for it. Just got it. There.
What is that?
What is that?
You talking about the thing peeking around the tree?
The
Yes, sir.
glowing orb?
Yeah, the thing picking around the tree. What do you guys think that is?
Look at this. Have you looked under it?
Yeah, there looks.
There's a shape.
I actually see a leg. I actually see a full torso.
Yes. Wow.
That's really cool.
And not only that, I thought I saw something else up in here too.
What's that? Oh, that's a house.
What did I say? So could I ask, where was this taken at?
This was taken about 3 years ago at a historic cemetery in southeast. It was just it was just east of Austin.
This was during the day.
Yes. And I was looking on my laptop and I cannot see this. So I immediately went to my big screen TV just to make the picture bigger. And I saw that and it blew my mind.
Well, I don't know if you noticed this either, but on the other side of that tree, it looks like a mist, a wisp. You see that?
Yeah, I didn't see that.
That's interesting, man.
That's
very
awesome.
interesting.
So you didn't see this at first?
No, but the thing is, guys, I was walking through the cemetery because the other guys were at the end, but something told me to look at that tree, and my mind was fixated on that tree. So I took a picture. But every time I walk around, I was walking back looking at that tree. I kind of felt like somebody or someone was looking at me. So I'm like, what the hell? So when I went home and I showed that picture to my wife, she's like, what the hell is that? You know, and it blows. And you know what? And I'm not even looking at the monkey to the left of it, the energy, because yes, you don't see it, the energy right to the left of it, up in the tree.
Oh.
Now, either that or bolt of lightning.
Yeah, look at that. I see like 2 arms. That's a creeper, man.
I don't know what it was.
There's a face. Holy shit. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. 2 eyes, nose. That middle branch. Look up over your monkey. And there's a face. Now, is it pareidolia or however the heck you say that word? I don't know. I'm not a big believer in that whole thing. I think you see what you see. You seeing what I'm seeing though?
Yes, yeah. And you know what? I didn't even pay attention to that.
That's
okay.
A cool shot, man.
Check this out, guys. I went back to that same cemetery 2 years later and look at what I caught last week. I'm going to send you another picture, and I want you to tell me what you think. Hi, Classy Dude. How you doing today? Appreciate you joining the show on Twitch. Love to have you.
What? I just found Jesus in the tree, man.
Somebody is.
What is that? Man, that's like almost like a white lady.
That's
like a white lady. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but it's crazy.
White dress lady.
That's not a white cemetery.
Well, what I'm saying, the woman in white, I guess is
Yeah,
what I
a
meant.
woman in white.
Woman in white.
But check it out, dude. It seemed like she's leaning it back against the tree. She's got her leg kicked up back, like she's just leaning on it. Because you see her knee actually bulging out. Like she's just
You can see her left arm, her shoulders, like she got a white dress on.
That's not her knee. You can't see her legs, but that's a long dress. That's Victorian style. You can see the shaping of it.
No, I see.
That's not her knee. That is her dress and the way that it's falling.
Wow. Yes, man. That's
the way I see it.
That's crazy.
What do you guys think about that?
That's really cool.
Yeah, I want to go.
And what's so crazy about it, guys, couple of months ago, no, I'll say almost a year, one of my members was supposed to do a training exercise with a potential member that was supposed to come onto the team. And we actually said, well, hey, let's take her here. We can, show her around. But she never showed up. But our member did. And she got ran out of that cemetery because after dark, the cemetery just came alive.
Right.
Oh,
there were shadows moving from left to right, up and down, all around.
That's why I love cemeteries. I love doing cemeteries.
Yeah.
They can be so active. So active.
And not trying to make a pun here, but they can be dead.
Yeah.
They can be. Yeah. Very quiet and peaceful. Yeah. I got a little story that kind of goes with your orb photo, though. If you want to hear it.
Sure.
So when I was 12, I was in the Boy Scouts and out of Texas, because I'm actually originally from Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to Camp Cherokee, which is no longer around. I don't know what it is now, but Camp Cherokee, Oklahoma, Boy Scout ranch, and had a little camporee. So anyway, on the second or third night, I don't remember. Well, we were told that, if you follow this trail, it leads to an old graveyard. And so one night, a buddy of mine that was in, Boy Scouts with me, we decided to sneak out of camp around midnight and go find that graveyard. We were some pretty brave 12-year-olds. So we found the trail. I mean, it was a good-sized trail. We could walk next to each other, side by side. And we found that cemetery, that graveyard. It was like a circular-shaped graveyard, and the trail kind of went all the way around it. So you could literally walk all the way around that graveyard. So we were looking at gravestones and, seeing how old they were and all that stuff. And we were out there for 30 minutes or so. I don't know. We decided, okay, we better get back before we get found out. So we started heading towards where we thought that the trail opening was, because it was surrounded by, it was in woods.
Mm-hmm.
We went back to where we thought that the trail opening was, and wasn't there. So we walked around the trail that went around the graveyard multiple times without finding this pretty good sized trail that, again, we could walk side by side. Okay, so this is a pretty good trail opening with no trees. It was a real trail.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, being 12 years old, we started getting scared. Well, all of a sudden, on the other side of the graveyard, in the trees, deep in the trees, we seen this green glowing orb. Call it a ghost light, whatever. It was this pretty good sized green glowing ball. I don't know why. I don't know what possessed us, but we decided to cross the graveyard towards that green glowing ball of weirdness in the trees. So we crossed the graveyard, and once we got to the other side, there was the opening to the trail.
Oh,
So
wow.
so we start going down the trail, and the closer we got to camp, the smaller that glowing ball got until it just dissipated. It like led us back to the campsite.
Oh,
That's how I've always felt about it.
Mm.
So that was my first thought when I saw that picture. Because this graveyard, there's just, but I mean, there's more than that in that picture, though. Way more than that in that picture. But that was my first thought.
Now you're from Dallas. Dallas is what, about an hour from Tyler, Texas?
Yeah, about.
Have you guys investigated Camp Ford?
No.
Interesting place. I think like 140 Confederate soldiers died there.
Oh, wow.
I would love, my son goes to school there, but every time I go there, I never had the time to investigate. I would love to get up and investigate, soon up there, but I mean, and it's untouched. I don't hear too many paranormal investigators going there and want to investigate that place.
You said it was called what again?
Camp Ford.
Camp Ford. It's in the Dallas area?
No, it's in Tyler.
Oh, Tyler, Texas. I know where that's at. Camp Ford, Tyler, Texas. I actually have a sister who lives in Broomfield, Colorado, and she lives about 30 minutes away from the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park.
Oh, wow.
So that's kind of a bucket list right there.
Well, I can tell you the good news, bad news about that thing if you want me to, or I can just leave it alone.
Yeah, go for it.
The only thing, me personally, the only thing that made that hotel spooky is the whole Stephen King thing.
The Shining.
Yeah, the movie made it. The movie, once the movie was produced, it was made.
You're right. However, if you're right. However, if you go back and find out why they chose the Stanley Hotel for that movie, it's because of the history it had, and that the fact that it was an actual haunted hotel. Mm. That's why they chose that hotel to make that movie in.
Interesting.
There's more to that story. That's just
Yeah. I mean, because there's been a lot of people that go in there that want to investigate it, and they'll come out like, man, this was a dud.
Oh, yeah.
And which we all know that, any given night, anything can be a dud.
Oh, sure. Oh, better believe it. Yeah.
But so I guess it depends on who you are and the night that you're on, but I've had friends go in there and they're like, man, Stephen King put the weird in this because we didn't catch anything. I'm like, okay, that's good. All right, guys. I got one serious question for you guys, and I want you guys to be honest with me.
Go ahead.
How did because we talked about this. How do you guys feel about parapsychology being taught in high schools and in colleges, and people are actually, people can actually get a degree and jump into our field with a sociology degree or a parapsychology degree. But how do you feel about that? Yeah. How do you feel about that at the high school level?
I mean, I don't know about our high school doesn't teach that. I don't know about the high school level. I think that's cool if somebody knows what they're actually talking about teaching. I don't have a problem with that as long as, again, there's somebody teaching that actually knows what in the world they're talking about. As far as it being more mainstream with, the parapsychology and stuff, I think it's only good in the long run. I would like to think that it would only be good for, the paranormal community. but it also depends on, what's being taught. I look at myself as a student of Hans Holzer, who was obviously the grandfather of paranormal investigation and a self-proclaimed, so to speak, parapsychologist. Because back then in the 70s, 60s, and 70s, there weren't really parapsychologists like there are today.
Mhm.
But, in hopes that we turn out more people like him, like
Right.
Hans Holzer, versus, somebody who doesn't believe at all. Look, hey, a healthy skeptic, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with the healthy skeptic at all. We all need to be skeptical.
Right.
Not everything is paranormal. However, I also wholeheartedly believe that we assign way too much reality that we know it to reality as we don't know it. Does that make any sense?
Okay. Yeah.
We look at stuff. I think a lot of people try to look at even paranormal evidence through a lens of it's not paranormal at all until it's proven it is. Okay, that's fine, but not everything I feel like it's not that black and white. There's a huge gray area in the paranormal field, and that's what we want to find out is what's in that gray area.
Right.
So I mean, I like the idea, as long as it's done healthily, I guess, in a healthy way. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Because if my child come home and tell me, "Hey, Dad, I want to, have, being a paranormal investigator as the selective course," and I will want to ask questions.
Oh yeah.
Will my child be safe? Will my child be this? I mean, yeah. I mean, I totally understand that. Uh, but that's something that a lot of school districts are doing down here in Texas
Really?
and at the college level. So I mean, it's starting to break ground, here because people, believe it or not, man, humans are very interesting people. We might be stubborn, we might be stupid at times, or just plumb freaking crazy, but beneath it all, we are curious creatures.
Oh, of course. Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We wouldn't have any scientific breakthroughs if we weren't curious and stupid
Exactly.
even. Oh, yeah. I mean, a lot of the best things we have were invented by accident.
Peanut butter.
Yeah,
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Peanut butter. But yeah. Hey, but check this out, guys. I'm gonna change it up a little bit, and what we talk about here, it all triangles into everything. It's like a big triangle, because being a paranormal investigator, we've always seemed to come at odd ends with the church. You guys got 23 churches in a community of 3,100 people. That's kind of weird. The church. The question is, especially on Baptist church, man, because we believe in, the Holy Ghost. And, if you ever seen the Blues Brothers, come on, dude, it can't get no holier than that. And they're doing black flips and stuff. It can't be, but why is it the church doesn't accept, us and accept what, our findings, and things that are out in the universe? Why is it so hard for them to so quick to, not accept, but just reject every little thing that we every little thing that we bring to the table? Why is that when they know damn well, excuse me French, that the Holy Ghost is real? What's the difference between the Holy Ghost and my mother's ghost? Hey, one can do the jig and the other one can't, but they both can throw down. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand that. Maybe you guys can help me out with that.
With my experience, I have been in the church all my life, and I'm almost 40 years old. I have been told over and over again from a very young age, ghosts do not exist. Ghosts do not exist. Neither does Sasquatch or anything like that. And it's kind of drilled in your head so much that it becomes truth in a way for a lot of people. And whenever it becomes truth, then no matter if it is true or a lie or a misconception or however you want to put it, it's still in your brain, it's the truth. And you're going to fight to protect that truth. And that's been my experience with growing up in the church, dealing with people from the church. That's been my conclusion. And if April were here, I think she'd back me up on that one.
Yeah, I wish she was here because the next question I think will
if
I
you
would
can wait
towards her.
On her way back.
2 minutes, she's outside.
She got back.
Yeah, it's crazy because this conversation we're about to have is going to go kind of right instead of the left. It's there's a puppy.
Yeah, that's probably my dog.
It's kind of crazy, guys, because what we do is unacceptable. Like you say, church doesn't do this. Church don't. Man, that's not. No, we can't do that. But here's the thing. It seems like they. Hello.
She's back.
To be honest with you, it seemed like they would acknowledge more to what a witch does compared to what a paranormal investigator does. That right there, I don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a double standard type thing to me.
Yeah.
It's legalism. Just not wanting to believe in anything but the Holy Ghost.
Because, like I'm saying, how do we know it's really a Holy Ghost? Just because you see it on the Blues Brothers, them doing what they're doing, that don't mean nothing. It's like, how do you know the difference between a good witch and a bad witch? But yet they accept witches, hell, they burned them at the stake, so they acknowledge them, correct?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they won't acknowledge us for who we are and what we do. It's mind-boggling on that whole theory that I put out. But it's I don't know, man. It's crazy.
I agree.
And it's like it seemed like, okay, we can take it. We'll give you an inch, no more, no less, and we're gonna leave it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we were going. My wife and I, and my daughters. Well, we were going to a church, and when they found out that I did what I did, the pastor came to my house and told me I didn't need to be doing that. Now, that wasn't the only reason why we left that church, but that was the nail in the coffin. I looked at him and I said, "Hey, but we're helping people." And because, like I said earlier, I love to do, residential investigations and help people who are having issues with spirit. And regardless of that, direction of that, wanting to serve in that capacity, because not everybody can. It didn't matter. It's just you shouldn't be doing this. Point blank. Period.
It's crazy, and this is a quote from the original Ghostbusters, 1984. When shit hits the fan, who in the hell are you gonna call?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
This world needs people like us.
Yeah, and because you can't call your priest, you can't call your police chief, you can't call a doctor. You gotta call somebody who's understands what's going on, man, and
who's willing to listen and believe.
Yeah,
your doctors and your police chiefs and even the Catholic Church anymore, they're going to look at you and tell you you're crazy. I mean, even the Catholic Church, who has been very well known to, be believers in negative energies and ghosts and stuff like that, they're separating themselves from it all as well. At least as a facade, anyway. Because I've heard you could ask the Catholic Church if they still do exorcisms, and they'll tell you no, but they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything is so underground with the Catholic Church is just ridiculous. But the thing about the Catholic Church, guys, they set the foundation for what we do today.
They really did. You're not wrong.
So how is that somebody who has hundreds of years of sending paranormal investigators out into the world to figure things out, come back and report them to whoever that they report to, and then turn around and say, well, hey, we don't like the way you guys are doing it today, but we've been doing it the same way for thousands of years. The same way you do it, it's the same way we do it. The only difference is we have a little bit more tech. We got a little bit more tech than what they got.
Right. Yeah.
But it's no different. So I just wish that the Catholic Church would get their hands, quit sitting on their damn hands, and get out here with us, and let's figure out what the hell is really going on, which I think they really know. But they're really not saying any damn thing. And that what really pisses off a lot of paranormal investigators.
Sure.
Sorry about that.
I'm with you. I guarantee you the Vatican Archives has thousands and thousands of pages of, spiritual incidents and exorcisms and reports of demons and, otherworldly events or what have you. I mean, you can't tell me they don't. And it's like top secret,
Area 51.
Yeah, religious Area 51 there, So yeah, I agree with what you're saying 100%. Look, in my opinion, I'm not gonna at this point in my life, I'm not going to turn to the church for help in this realm. I've learned too much anyway. I'm not an expert, but I know enough to help people, and I've done it. I've done it, and I mean, of course, just like any paranormal investigator out there, we want that major piece of proof and evidence that blows the door wide open. We all do. And I hope somebody gets it one day. I would love it to be me, but if it's not, I hope you do it. And that's what we do. But I'm not, again, in my point in life, I'm not going to turn towards the church for any help in this realm, because it's gotten just way too, again, legalistic and, shunning.
Right. A lot of people, when I ask, a lot of paranormal investigators, and I asked them this question, and sometimes they actually had to sit and think for a moment before they answered it. What exactly, paranormal investigators, what exactly are we really trying to find out about, the other world? A lot, and when I ask people, are you finding out for personal reasons, or are you trying to find out to help, uh, you know, your community, the world, and whatever? And believe it or not, guys, there's a lot of people out there that are investigating to prepare themselves for what is gonna eventually happen to us. They don't want to no surprises.
Right.
They don't want they want to be able to have this figured out when it's their time to go. It's like, oh, okay, now I got this. But there's some paranormal investigators out there that want to be educated, and want to share it with the world. But like I'm saying is, 'cause like me, for an example, the reason why I'm investigating, and I'm being honest with you, is to preparing myself for what's about to come.
Mm.
I mean, I've got answers for that. You got anything you want to throw down on that?
Okay, so being sensitive, I have felt entities most of my life. Sometimes I get like little flashes, kind of like a flip book of pictures. Like this was my family, like that. I get core memories from them. Not a lot of death, doom, and destruction. I don't get that very often unless like I died horrifically, type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gone as far as jokes.
Yeah.
They joke with me. But I've often thought about it like, okay, I'm sensitive. They have figured that out. They come to me and they show me things, and if the afterlife was heaven or hell, you need to make this choice now perspective. I think that I would be bombarded a lot with, you have got to push that, you have got to make sure everybody goes to heaven. I have never gotten that, but I've gotten joked with before.
Interesting.
Before.
Interesting. Because I've always, and to be honest with you guys, I've always been afraid of that, because I don't know what lies for me. But as I became a paranormal investigator, and I learned, and I see things, and I educate myself, and I educate others on the possibility of what lies for me. And to be honest with you guys, I'm at peace now, because now I know that there is something besides this black vortex that some people think that it's going to be.
Well, it's also, what happens with energy? You can't destroy energy. It just goes from one form to another. So if you were to ask me, I'm saying, look, for me, I know there's an afterlife. I believe that there's an afterlife. Okay. I want to be able to help people. Yes, I do it for personal reasons as well, because of, like I've said, growing up, having experiences my whole life. But I do. I want to help people. And yeah, of course, I want that ultimate evidence to say there's no more denying.
Mm-hmm.
Because even still today, people question the afterlife.
Right.
If we just die and we're done, or if there's a heaven and a hell, or if ghosts exist, or if there's a such thing as demons or elementals, or what have you. I think that's a big question you asked. You know what I mean? There's a lot to that. It is a big question, but it is personal for me. And yes, I would love to be the one to blow that door wide open.
Blow it up.
Blow it up, you know. And you know, even with the little pet balls, to me, you know, a couple of months ago, we had an experience at the Checotah Indian Territory Cemetery where we had a pet ball going on and off straight for 15 minutes.
16 minutes, yeah.
I mean, I've never seen that before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, somebody may say, well, that's just the pet balls, you know, it's just off, it's glitching or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, to me, that was like some of the best evidence I've ever gotten. But that may not be the same for Joe Blow or Susie Q. You know, they may look at it and say, that's not evidence, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there is that personal vendetta, so to speak, of wanting to prove the existence of the afterlife.
Now, yeah, that's man. We could talk about that for hours. But guys, is it possible? And I'm just gonna throw this out there. Is it possible that on the other side they're doing the same thing to us as we do to them? Is it possible?
I'm kind of getting into string theory now.
I'm saying, is it possible that they could be investigating us as well?
Yeah.
It's
they argue with this guy right here at our house all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, is it possible that they make that cat bar go off so they can make you touch it again?
I mean, hey, because we do that. Hey, set this off. We kick it or touch it, and it goes off. This is how you do it.
Talk to the red light.
Talk to the red light. Yeah. What's the biggest thing people say? You know, you got your where's my digital? Anyway, you get talk to the red light. You know, I'm doing EVP. You know, speaking to the red light. And
it's possible that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible that it can be doing to us right now. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't put it past them because they're curious creatures just as much as we are. You know, and just think, if somebody died 200 years ago, they don't, you know, and this is another question that I have for you guys. If they died 200 years ago and they're curious about the technology today, because apparently they can jump in and out, whoever, whenever, whatever time, you know, and they like, okay, man, we got 2-3 knuckleheads over here that's trying to get my attention. Now, let me touch this cat ball to see if it goes off. Now, I'm going to play role reversal. I'm going to investigate them instead of them investigating me.
And I mean, that's what we get a lot of hide and seek in the graveyards. Mm-hmm. That with the Checotah Indian Cemetery, it's a little bit smaller. But like whenever we were doing the one in McAllister, I mean, that is huge. How many people were buried?
Over 3,000.
Yeah. and that's where they were chasing me around because, like, for a moment, I would feel something over here, and we'd go over there, and then whenever the energy died down over there, it's like, ooh, it moved over there, and I would just be gone, and they'd be like, oh, we're got to grab cameras, and
oh, dude, that is amazing. That's unbelievable. You know, but
they play with you. They do.
Yeah, they do. They play with you a lot.
We've even had instances where, you know, we feel like there's on the outskirts.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. Like on the outskirts.
Yeah, froze up.
I see that. But,
there you go.
But yeah, we've had instances to where we've had, you know, the feeling of all the spiritual energy on the outside, like on the I don't know what I'm trying to say. The perimeter, like keeping their distance, like watching us. Like, what are these jokers doing? You know, that, and I felt that numerous times. And then you call me, you know, you get to doing more experiments, and hopefully you draw them in. That's not always the case. That's not how it always works. But in which you know that, but I'm sure you understand the feeling that I'm talking about, you know, man, it just seems like they're just all around us, but they're keeping their distance. You know, that's a feeling that I've had, not just in graveyards or cemeteries as well. I mean, I felt that, we felt that at the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame, that they, excuse me, that they were keeping their distance for a little while until they decided, okay, let's try to communicate.
Okay. You know, guys, we're hour 35 minutes. I got 3 more questions, and I'm going to get you guys out of here. And I'm going to talk about your gifts here for a minute, young lady. And I'm going to ask you a personal question.
Okay.
You know, and how do you feel about your gifts? Do you accept them? Do you acknowledge them?
I didn't for a really, really long time. And like I use like the light switch analogy, like for me, I can turn it off where I absolutely shut everything out.
Okay. Why do you think, because I know there's more of you guys out in the world. Why do you think that? Because the door is half open. That door is open, you know, for psychic mediums, you know, clairvoyants. They're peeping behind that door and want to come, and they see the light. It's like, man, if I can just walk through that door, my mind would be so clear, you know. But people with that type of gifts, they are so scared to open that door and walk through it. Why do you think that is?
Persecution,
Which
wanting
ones?
to
Which
fit
parties?
in. You know, growing up, you know, Bible Belt right here. I mean, like, I went to church every Sunday, every Wednesday. That is not something that they're open to at all. I mean, and also in the sense of, you know, I wanted to fit in. I didn't want to fit out.
Okay. Now, why is it that witches are more acceptable this day compared to clairvoyants, mediums, and psychics, and so on?
Hollywood.
So you saying that Hollywood have kind of put you guys into a you know, in a dark light and more of a white light?
No, but like, so witches have been romanticized through a lot of different movies, whereas more of your mediums, clairvoyants, tarot readers, stuff like that, you know, we're magic trick artists.
That's true. I mean, look at America's Got Talent, and they have the clairvoyant people on there. I mean, look, I'm not saying they're real or fake, but she's got a point there. They game show it. It's mainstream in the fact that it's a trick, whereas you know, Hollywood has portrayed witchcraft as being more practical, like white witch sorcery. You use a lot of herbs, and like Wiccans, they use a lot of stuff from the earth. You know, more practical magic. I mean, there's even a movie called Practical Magic. So yeah, I get what she's saying, and I would agree with that. You know, I think Hollywood influences so much anyway. You know,
Yeah, it does. I mean, that's why I think the new generation of paranormal investigators are going to be all whacked out. You know what I'm saying? So, what would you tell somebody like yourself that wants to step through that door, you know,
It's
what would you tell them?
listening to yourself.
And the energies around you.
Yeah. And not being afraid to explore it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, there are some really great books out there that you can read, but like I've always said, like everybody's flavor is different in like reading auras, communicating. Like I've seen so many different mediums use so many different avenues of communicating with spirits. It's not all the same for everybody, and you've got to explore what works for you.
Right. Okay.
Because I
Cool.
mean, I've seen people use bones, use writing. What are some other ones? Runes.
Because it's so crazy because here in Central Texas, dude, there are so many witch festivals. Every weekend of the month, there is something witches. They're more acceptable here, and people really don't bother them, But the minute we put a medium con or a clairvoyant con where a bunch of mediums and psychics get together and want to express themselves and talk to other people, just like a paracon, man, it's been frowned upon. It's really.
I think there's also an aspect of the fun aspect. Oh, hey, look, they're a bunch of vampires. They wear fake teeth and drink fake blood. Oh, hey, look, they're witches. They wear pointy hats and carry around broomsticks. It's just a fun festival. You get what I'm saying? They're not looking at, the people who really do take it seriously. So I think it becomes maybe a little bit more socially acceptable if you're, quote unquote, having fun with it. And that may be a part of it as well.
Right.
Does that make any sense?
Oh yeah, but these guys down here, man, they take that very seriously.
Oh, I'm sure they do. And that's just the thing. Those people take it seriously. It's the outside looking in that has the idea of, oh, they're just having fun. They're not real witches. They're not, like the people who claim to be vampires nowadays. They put the fake teeth in their mouth and,
they've been hanging around. Hey, man, I heard New Orleans, man, is a haven for vampires. Got to get down there and check those guys out.
All right. I ain't nothing on vampires, man.
All right. Two more questions. All right. Who can I pick on the most? I got you. We're gonna stick with you. Nope, we're gonna stick with you. We're gonna stick with you. Okay. Do you own a house?
Yes.
Okay. Do you guys have a base? Do you guys have basements up there?
No, there's the water table is like 3 feet under the surface of the ground.
Okay. Yeah, well, you got a garage, right?
Huh?
You have a garage?
No.
You got a closet.
Yeah, we got a closet.
Okay, you know what? Something hits your head. You're like, poof. And you tell your husband, it's like, man, can I borrow your hammer? Can I borrow your screwdriver? Can I borrow your socket set? Man, you just had this vision. You got this vision in your head, and you're like putting things together. And all of a sudden, you come up with something like this. Something, not exactly, but it's a box. And you turn it around and you're like, I built this, but I don't know why I built this. My mind told me to build this. And you see, and you put a light switch onto the box. You hit that box and it, you put an EMP comes out, knocks out half your damn shit. But You're looking and you see a vision. You see this tunnel open up and you're like, what is this? You get scared, but you cut it off. But you know what? Curiosity killed the cat. So you flip it back on again. And you're looking.
I would definitely walk through it.
Hold on. No, you can't walk through it, but you just opened up a hole to the other side. Now, it kind of throws you off at first because you see stores, you see a Macy's over there, you know, there's a Randolph Brooks at the bank, you see people coming in and out the bank and all that. And you know, he's like, wow, man, these people are going along about their everyday lives and they're dead. You know, and so, you know, you really, damn, but you know what? You came across one of your relatives. So your relative can pop in because that's what they do. But you can't pop in there. So she comes in, y'all sit down and start talking, blah, 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 talking about, you know, things that happened long, long ago, relatives, you know, grandfathers and how she lived when she was growing up. And so on and so on. You know, but eventually she has to go because she's got to get home and cook dinner. So she jumps back through it and you cut off the switch and you're amazed of what you just accomplished. Now, the question that I have for you is, would you share that knowledge with the world or would you put that box on the shelf?
I know I would share that with anybody who wanted it.
Interesting question.
Except for with the thought of like, if we have too many of them running at once, could we create a black hole?
No. Okay. Why would you want to share something like that?
Doesn't everybody want to have that one more conversation with somebody that passed?
True. But let's look big picture on this. Let's look big picture. Okay. Now, let's say you did put this out. And you honestly think that mankind is ready for a device like that and use it with true intent.
I'd be like, hey, like, can you help me with this problem neighbor over there? You can go haunt them for a couple of weeks, run them out of the neighborhood for me. That would be great.
I don't think that the world is ready for something like that. I mean, to answer that question, but that doesn't mean that. I think I would even be hollering at the top of my lungs, "Hey, look at this!" You know, if you discovered something like that, that's huge. It's huge. Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Do you think people are ready to believe in extraterrestrial life or aliens or what have you?
Well, you know, the people in the black suit might not think so. But I think, and to be honest with you, the human race, this might sound crazy because this is a phrase out of Men in Black. The human race is ready, but I don't think mankind is. If that makes sense to you guys.
Yeah.
So when I say humans, that means a select few.
Yeah.
Mankind is a whole.
All of them, everybody.
All of them. No, I don't think they're ready. But getting back to the box is now when you present that box and you open it for the world is rejoiced because everybody has one in their household. They can go see relatives that have been gone long, long ago. But when always there's something up, there's always something down. Can't have one without the other. Positive, negative. So let's look at the downside on that. I think personally, certain people will use that for disadvantages. I think they will use it for corrupt reasons. And I don't think that, me personally, I don't think that religion is ready for. Can you imagine if you present that, how religions will fall?
Crumble.
It will crumble. And not only that, religion, just think of certain countries that are based their whole society on religion. So you would actually have conflict between believers and non-believers, on how this thing work, does it work, blah, blah, blah. So are you sure that you want to do that?
Oh, yeah. People need to open their eyes to the truth anyways.
Yeah, but people can open up their eyes when they're ready.
Not true.
But
have you ever Yoda? Another quote from Yoda. Well, your first quote from Yoda: "The young don't always do what they're told."
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
I was looking at you.
Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe we can put this thing back on the shelf for another 50 to 100 years till mankind is ready for it. Mankind is still having a hard time with the microwave. So can you imagine? With something with that with something that advanced? You know what I'm saying? So I would definitely put it back on the shelf. Okay, the young lady said she would keep it for the world. What would you gentlemen? What would you guys do?
That's a hard question. I would like to share it with the world, but I don't know what kind of chaos that would create. Now, April is the child of chaos, so of course she's going to share. But the question is, how much chaos would it cause?
Civilizations have fallen for less.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I think the knee jerk reaction would be, "Hey, look what I have. Look what we got." I think you're right though. If you were to sit back and really think about the ramifications, it would be it probably wouldn't be a good thing. But yeah, I mean, at first, I think anybody is going to be holding that box up in the air, going, "Hey, look what I got! Look what I." But but you know as well as I do, though, government come in and shut you down real quick.
Yeah, they would. I mean, they would try.
Oh yeah,
their microwave would tell them.
That damn microwave.
Your name from ET spaceship.
Yeah. So I got one yes, one kind of iffy, and the other one's no. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, one more question, guys. Well, two more. I keep throwing them. What do you guys think the 21st century paranormal investigator would look like? No, 22nd century. What do you think they would look like?
On their phone all the time.
Okay. Hey, she's got a good point. Look at Elon Musk, the Neuralink, and everything else. I mean,
so 50 years, 100 years from now, what do you think? How do you think we would be as paranormal investigators? What kind of technology you think we would have besides that box?
Cyborgish.
Okay.
I would hope to be able to have something that we could get more clear back and forth conversations. I know that there is in existence a thing called direct radio voice, and the guys that are at the head of working on that and the science, they're able to have somewhat of a conversation with spirits. I've listened to some that the guy that was conducting the direct radio voice was speaking with a group of spirits, and they pulled his mom, who had passed away a few months prior to that, into the conversation. She called him the pet name that she had for him while she was alive. I mean, I think that we've got a long way to go, but I think we are getting there.
Okay. Now, somebody want to do some homework for me?
Sure.
I need somebody to get a big wad of paper. Hey, can somebody go to Office Max, get me a big stack of paper this big, and I want somebody, I don't care who's listening, somebody to write me a paranormal dictionary.
That would be awesome.
Because I am so tired of people using the same old freaking words whenever they're investigating. Dude, we are a lot more advanced in this. Our little brains, if we can think about other ways to communicate besides all of that, come on, dude. That's that whole thinking out the box again.
Right.
You know, so when we talk to people, we got to think out the box. We can't say, "Can you touch that cat ball, please?"
Yeah.
Can you touch that REM pod, please?
Speaking to the red light.
You know what, man? And I'll be honest with you. When I'm in a cemetery and I'm speaking, especially in the black cemetery, hey, I'm speaking to these guys like they're brothers.
Right.
I'm putting the soul on it because that's the way that that's the way they were talked to when they were alive.
Sure.
So I am not gonna speak to them 3 words a sentence. That don't make any sense to me. That's not even logical. Who in the hell has a 3-word sentence in an investigation?
Right.
Nobody I know. Nobody I know. But but there are people out there that do it. There are people out there that do it. Touch that cat ball. Calm that tree. Can you drink that milk? Like, what the fuck, dude? What the hell, man? It's crazy. All right, guys. One last question. And I'm going to start with the lady in the middle. Where would you like to go on your bucket list? Anywhere in the world to investigate. Where would you like to go?
Oh, goodness. I would actually love to go to Europe somewhere and investigate one of the castles.
Ireland.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Okay. Ireland. Any other places besides Ireland?
I know it's close to home, and I have actually been there quite a few times, but actually investigating it would be Judge Parker's court.
Fort Smith.
Judge Parker was the hanging judge.
Out of Fort Smith, Arkansas.
dude, is there not a hanging judge in every damn state?
Right.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
right.
was responsible for the Oklahoma Territory.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
He-
Where would you guys like to go? Anywhere in the world.
Go ahead.
Just because I've been there and just the absolute vibes, I would love to be able to go and do the Colosseum in Rome.
Is this the same Coliseum we saw Godzilla sleeping in the movie?
Yeah.
I mean, as much human activity, whether it was a battle, mock fight, show, whatever, as much energy as what existed while it was open, that place was, you can still feel it walking into there.
Well, I'm pretty sure Godzilla then ran all the spirits away with his breath.
He probably didn't run off the cats though. Man, the cats in there were mean.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, okay. Where would you like to go, sir?
So to me, this is kind of a multi-tier question because, like she had said, somewhere in Europe. I mean, I would love to go to Scotland. I can't think of the name of the castle now. Oh my goodness, my mind just went blank. There's a castle in Scotland that I would just absolutely love. That'd be like top of my list, and right now I just can't think of the name of it. But then also here in the United States, there's so many places that I've never been able to go to that are, they almost put it out of reach with the prices that you have to pay to go investigate them. Penhurst Asylum, Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, the prison in Pittsburgh, East. Anyway, my mind's going blank. You know what I'm talking? The one in Pittsburgh, I believe it is Pennsylvania. I mean, I would love to go to any of those places. The problem is I get that they have to make their money to keep them going, but that's why, if I'm going to spend my money, I'm going to go to a place like the Hinsdale House in Hinsdale, New York, that's run by investigators. Yes, they ask for money so they can keep it running, but they make it affordable, and they want investigators to come in and investigate, to learn their research practices and to get better and to have an actual, very highly haunted place to perfect their craft. So I would probably have to say the Hinsdale House is on that list as well for me because of that reason alone. And it's also helping to support those paranormal investigators and paranormal investigating, the field of paranormal investigating, whereas opposed to places that just do it for the money. They're just doing it for the money. That's why they charge $1,000, which is ridiculous.
Very ridiculous.
Yeah.
Very. Central Texas is uncharted territory when it comes to paranormal investigators. Most of the big cities, San Antonio, Houston, Dallas, even El Paso, they have a multitude of paranormal investigators. I mean, you can actually have a paranormal investigator and be neighbors in those cities, and you probably wouldn't even know. When you come to Austin and you meet me, I can almost promise you, and I'm going to be honest with you, some of these untouched locations are very active. The people there are very curious because they don't get visitors.
Right.
And some of them are curious. Some of them go up and poke you in to see if you're real because they don't know. Because, hell, ain't nobody been there in 40, 50 years. You know what I'm saying?
I love places like that.
Yeah.
And the best thing about it is you can keep your money in your pocket because it's free.
I like going to free places. That's for sure.
That's my favorite price.
That's my favorite price.
Hey, man, I like. You know what? I would love to drink a Budweiser and knowing that my money is in my pocket rather than drink a Budweiser feeling depressed knowing that I just gave $500 to someone else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's telling you guys. Yeah, guys, ever want to come down and visit? Hey, you know
Sounds
where
good to me.
Yeah.
my number is on my Facebook page. Just say, hey, Big T, I'm on my way. You know,
Sounds
hey,
good.
and
Well,
hey,
hey, you're up our way, man. Look us up.
are we going up there? I'm thinking, man, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Oh man, we got a date in Louisiana. I promised this lady in Louisiana that we would come first. So if you guys want to pitch in and get us an airplane after that, do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-oh. It froze.
Yeah. I think you froze up there, Terry. I don't know if you can hear us. Oh, that's awesome.
We hit $3.99 on YouTube. And Facebook, we're at 9:30. Oh. There he is.
Whoa, sorry about that. Oh, it's dark. Hold on. Actually, it's thunder. It's storming here,
Oh no.
and it knocked me out. So. All right, that's better. All right, guys, tell the world how to get a hold of you guys.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Hold on.
There you are.
There you go. Hold on. All right. All right. Sorry about that. Tell the world how to get a hold of you guys.
Excuse me. Well, obviously, our YouTube channel, After Walker Paranormal, you can definitely go subscribe to that. You can find us on Facebook at After Walker Paranormal. Our email address is afterwalkerparanormal@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter, X, whatever you call it now, at Paranormal Green. We're easy to get a hold of. I mean, you can message us directly on Messenger through our Facebook page. Come follow us as well. We've got to have a lot of exciting stuff coming up. We've got a pretty cool schedule over the next 6 months, starting with her birthday ghost hunt at what we call the Field of Fae. And then that's April 26th. June 1st, we're going to the Parallel Forest, Lawton, Oklahoma. We've got a lot of neat stuff coming up. We'll leave that at that. But yeah, Facebook After Walker Paranormal, and of course you can click message us with that as well. So we're easy to get a hold of. We're easy to find.
Okay, when's your birthday? What day?
April 27th.
Mine's April 17th.
Well,
Oh yeah, you're coming up real quick.
3 days. Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Hey, I expect a gift from you guys. Well, you know what, guys? It has been a pleasure speaking with you.
You too.
I really enjoyed it, man. Keep up the good work up there, man. And I would definitely be checking up on you guys. So if I give you guys if you guys get that 512 area code, no problem. It's just me.
Anytime, brother. Anytime.
Hey, so yeah, man. Hey guys, a lot of support, a lot of love for you guys. Hey, if you guys are listening out there, please go hit their Facebook page, their YouTube channel, and let's show these guys a lot of support from all you Texas guys that are watching the show down there. So, yeah, man. Hey, enjoy the rest of your Sunday and go eat dinner.
Yeah, keep it creepy,
Oh, yeah.
guys.
Yeah, keep it creepy. Hey, guys, this is Terry with NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast with Sunday Evening Podcast in the semi lines. Then, anyway, I'm still working on that. So, hey, but hey, guys, I'll see you guys next weekend. Don't forget, Wednesday is my birthday. So, please let me get a lot of birthday shout outs. In the meantime, peace. Later, guys.
Bye.